Alright guys, back in the video, and this time we're going to be doing my boy Metacooler. Finally got my hands on the cards and actually put it together and tried my tricolor build, and you guys saw that one. But this one I ended up taking out blue, sadly. I usually just throw 4 beans in and throw in support cards and then try to tweak it out like that. Probably could side the blue engine in this, honestly, but I'll get into detail why you don't really need it and what it didn't do for the deck because it wasn't consistent at what I wanted it to do. But the Metacooler is very powerful. Front side, when you start the game, you get this big spaghetti star, and it is free advantage every turn by paying 1 energy. You mill 1, and then you play one of these guys for your drop area, and you can play as many as you want. So that's the tricky part when you're trying to build a deck. But no awaken ability. It says draw 2 whenever you have, and awaken whenever you have 2 Frieza clans on board, which is pretty interesting. Now, on the back side, after you draw 2, you get an auto when it attacks. You get to mill up to 3 cards, and then grab a cooler or Metacooler from your drop area and add it to your hand, which is consistency and free value, and you guarantee getting cards back. And you don't have to. You're not drawing, so it gets around Majin Buu as well, which is neat to know. But Majin Buu, never mind. Majin Buu doesn't really affect your leader, but basically you get the free advantage back. And also the ability while you have 2 Frieza Clan on board, which you have will rest one of your opponent's battle cards, and then it can't restand during their next turn. So being able to rest certain things like the Cell 3 drop and Topo your opponent played on your turn, anything that would probably try to kill you or anything like that, you won't be able to as long as you get a chance to rest it. Also, this deck is awakened to 8 life because on turn 2, on your opponent's turn when they attack you, you combo away one of these guys and then you bring one back and you play another one, or you play a 1-drop, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, and then you awaken. Pretty crazy ability. Also activate battle once per turn, so it's worse than your opponent's turn. You pump one of your Metacoolers up by 5k for the turn, which is pretty crazy. As I said, start off with the game, tap 1, mill 1, get a cooler. Now for the ratios, I bumped this up from 8 copies to 10. Now you got 10 of these guys. Now, these guys are pretty important to the deck. They're like your main source of value and the way you attack. 15k plus the 5k boost on your leader whenever you want to. 20k every turn for one of them and 15k for the rest. Pretty powerful, but yeah, you basically need to open one of them and then get him in your drop area. You don't really need to mill that much with your leader if you're in certain matchups like Cooler or whatever. And yeah, that's where the tricky part comes in. You really don't want to deck out. But you got 4 of these guys. This guy is amazing. Still need a 4/4, but he has a 1-drop ability for draw 1, and then he's a Frieza Clan, so it helps you out a little bit. Then he also has another ability. Whenever you play it, you get back the Getty Star from your drop area. If you did happen to get it in your drop area with your other new 4-drop, but that allows you to play this guy. I'll show you that in a second. So there are some new cards that allow you to cheat in this guy for cheap, and I'll get into that in a second. So this 4-drop allows you to put the star up under it, activate main, and then you play from your deck. And then whenever this gets played, when it has the star up under it, you get to play 2 Metacoolers from your drop area. And your main prime target now is this guy, and you have this guy. I wasn't playing this in my other build because I did think it was kind of breaky, but I did learn some more tricky things about the deck and the way it functions, and you really do need to see this card. That's why milling isn't too bad in this deck, because you want to mill these in a drop area, and you want to get these in a drop area too. So yeah, these cards are pretty powerful. Mainly, as soon as this resolves and gets these back, you start activating battling and sending them to the drop area, and keep bringing this guy back and keep bringing this guy back. Mainly leave these there. You want to get rid of these unless you really want to finish. If you finish the game with this attack, which you usually don't, so that's not really too relevant. You keep this guy on the board. He gets all Metacoolers. He gives all of them double strike, but he's not a Metacooler. He's a Metacooler core. So that's very important to know. Also, this guy, he has an ability to pay 2 to bring back 2 of these, which really rarely comes up. So we get to the staples. This is the last yellow staple. For battle cards, we have Beerus, the super combo, Sparky. And you want the Sparky one? It's pretty important because you will be at 8 life for most of the game. Unless you're taking your own life, and that's what a problem I ran into, is you really want to take your own life, because it's pretty good to take your own life because it's a resource. So Saiyan Kaba, this is just attack, take a life, gain 15k, go up to 15k double strike, and it's just very, very cheap pressure. then you're playing red cards and you need red energy, and if you're playing red cards, you might as well play this card. If you do not have access to this card and you want to play a more budget build, which most of these cards are pretty cheap, everyone I've showed you so far is extremely cheap, but you don't have to play this card if you're really trying to go on a budget. This card's only really necessary if you're grinding, which this deck does, but you don't really need to play this card. This costs 2 energy, and sometimes you won't even have 2 energy open.
Card's just broken.
Also, you can counter this pretty easily if your opponent's prepared for it. So they probably will siding cards out this, and you just won't use it the entire game. 3-time magic, they actually more important negate for this deck because you are going to be sparking and you do have high life. This is very good against those dual attackers, and it's just a solid negate in general. 2 Crusher Ball, this is just a good card in this format, and I would play Poison, but I realized Poison was not good in this deck the way I wanted it to be. It's decent in certain matches, but you don't have the 3 energy open to actually use until like later in the game, and that's not what you want to do. 1 energy for risking certain cards in certain matchups is pretty good. If you realize it's not good in that matchup, you just charge it. It's solid yellow energy. 2 Nimbus. It's just like Topo, but for 1 energy. This is more affordable for your energy wise, and you could probably bump this up to 3, but I would probably bump up Time Magic to 4 before I bump up this to 3. But if you're going to ball on a budget, you probably could cut your red count down and then play more yellow negates. 3 Cooler. This is a very fantastic card in this deck, and that's why I'm unsure about the red count. But in some ways, but you don't really need that many reds. So you usually only charge 1 red so you can get that 3 yellow off by turn 4. And then sometimes you just end the game with the counter, with basically the new battering with one of these swings or one of these swings. And turn 5, turn 4. Depends on how you get there. But usually turn 5 with this and then turn 4 with this. It just depends on the matchup. But the least important cards in the deck are the most expensive ones in this deck. So you don't really need these cards. So if you're going on a budget, like I said, you don't need Topos or you don't need the Topos or the Bardox. But these are just good cards in certain matchups. So if you do have them, you can try them. Like they're not going to come up that often because your energy is not going to be available for this for 2 energy in most cases. But there are cases where they get rid of your whole board and then you just happen to have 2 energy and you're a high life. So boom. That's why 4-time you could play 4-time magic. Probably side the 4th. But that's it for the deck profile. There are a few tech choices you could try. The new promo King Cold is the offering guy. He's pretty decent. I'm not sure exactly how it fits in the deck because it does cost 3 energy. Most of this deck is pretty energy efficient and just gains a ton of advantage by getting free bodies. And you'll realize your board is full. You can also play Banisher Fu and stuff like that. So if you're really trying to tweak in cards that you don't have and you have those cards, you can try those out as well. And if you really are feeling cheeky, you can play the Fu Shrouded Mystery to end the game. But thank you guys once again for watching, and I hope you checked out my other videos. We'll see you guys next time.